Guess who's back? Back again. First of all, I want to start this video by saying happy Black History Month. It is February 2nd, and I didn't record a video on yesterday because I was having a moment, which you'll probably see in the previous video before this. I was having a moment. Yeah, but I think it's important to have those moments because, you know, honestly, I feel like in this day and age, especially now in this time frame, in this period of life, life just sucks. I feel like it just sucks for everyone right now, just emotionally, financially, physically. Like I feel like we're really in the end times. Like honestly, these are the last days. I feel it. I feel like the rapture's coming. I don't know, but because of that, I feel like because of the state of the world that we're in right now, that's kind of why I wanted to have this conversation about, like, you know, being afraid to do what you want to do in life because you feel like, oh, you'll fail, or you feel like you're putting so much time and effort into something that you don't even know will succeed in the end. And honestly, that's how I feel. A lot of the times when I'm working towards something, I'm like, this is taking a lot of time out of my day. This is taking a lot of effort, especially when you first get started and you're like, well, I don't even know if this is like if I'm gonna succeed, you know, because there's so many people that work like so hard and work so long and they don't really have that much progress. They don't have at least the amount of progress that they would have thought they would have been at or they would have liked to reach in that time frame. And I feel like that's what discouraged me, and that's what discourages a lot of people from doing what they want to do and doing what they're passionate about. Sometimes it feels like a waste of time because it feels like nobody, especially honestly, if this is for anything, like this is for any career that you want to do, but specifically like when it comes to creating, like creatives, you know, I feel like a lot of the time creating is something that takes time. It takes a while to do, and I feel like it can get discouraging at times when you have something you worked really hard on and I think it gets barely any recognition, or you thought that this was like, oh, like this is the one, like this is what's gonna get me out the trenches, and it's like it's not as appreciated as you thought it was gonna be. And I feel like that's where most people quit. They quit at the point where they've been doing something for a steady amount of time and they don't see any progress. But it could be that next post, that next month, that next week, you know, or that just, you know, it could be just a little bit, like you could be 99% there, but because you don't see the progress that you want to see in that time frame, then you just quit. But it could have been right there. It could have been that next post. It could have been that next month, that next week, that next, you know, draft or whatever, you know. So I don't know if I'm saying this to convince myself or to like be inspirational, which I feel like it could benefit both of us. It's a what's that term we learned in science? It's a symbiotic relationship. Yeah, it's kind of like that where both parties benefit type, you know, thing. So, but I guess I'm saying this as, you know, a way to kind of let myself know too that, okay, like we're in the beginning stretches. It's gonna be difficult. It's gonna take time. You know, good things take time. You know, you hear from me. But all the people that you look up to that are successful, they've all started from somewhere. You know what I mean? Like they all started at the very bottom. Unless they were a Nepo baby. Yeah, but no, that's besides the point. Most people, I would say, most people who are successful, or at least most of the people that are the most respected, were, you know, started from the very bottom, like 0.1. And it took them time, took them years. Like that's a normal thing. And I feel like because of social media, I feel like people are becoming successful so quickly in a way that isn't really normal or wasn't normal before the internet. But people who rise quickly, they fall quickly too. I mean, you know, just because someone blew up in such a quick amount of time doesn't mean that, you know, they'll sustain that for the rest of their career, which is something that I think is important. It's like not only the success, but maintaining that success. You know what I mean? I feel like it is probably even more important, or just as important as, you know, that initial rise to success. And so a lot of people see that and they're discouraged, and they're like, you know, because they feel like they've been doing whatever they were doing in that same amount of time frame, and they see like, oh, I don't see any progress, but this person, you know, was doing it the same amount of time as me, or even less time than me, and you know, they have all this progress and they have all this success and stuff, like when is it my turn? Or you know, that's the point where they just give up, and they're like, well, obviously this isn't for me because this isn't happening as quickly as it's happening for this person or that person or that person. But just remember, you are on your own timeline. You're on your own timeline. This is your life. This isn't anybody else's life. You're not the same as that one person. You're your own person with your own unique skill, your own unique draw to success or whatever. We all live different lives. We all have different circumstances. So if you want to be the next Beyonce, then you're the next Beyonce. Remember me when you're famous though, because I said that. But I don't know. I just think I made this video because I was kind of like, you know, when you get in those moods where it's like, you just want to be lazy and not, or skip a day of the grind. That's kind of what I've been feeling lately. But I think it's because now, you know, it's gonna take time, it's gonna take progress, and you know, nothing can happen overnight. What was that quote? I said a quote in one of my videos before. I was like, I forgot, but it was a quote pertaining to like the timeline of success, where it's like, oh, if you quit now, you'll probably never, you know, reach the goal you want to reach. You know, you have to try to be something. So if you don't try at all, then you've already failed. You know, the only failure is not trying at all. So yeah, and I truly believe that. I think even if you don't get to where you want to be, I think as long as you try, that's highly respectable. The fact that you tried, you know, to reach your goal, and you were actually actively pursuing your goal instead of just being like, oh, this is too hard, I give up. That's something that's respectable. So I think, you know, that's arguably the only thing you really need to do what you want to do. Because honestly, I'm a firm believer in hard work beats talent. You could sing like, for example, we're just gonna use singing as an example. You could be the best singer in the world. Like, you could have vocals better than freaking Whitney Houston. But if you don't show up, you know, if you don't, you know, dedicate your time to, you know, your craft or anything, if you just think, oh, you know, because even then, singing, it takes practice. Like, you do need to, you know, do vocal, I don't know what the term is for like when you sing, but like vocal, like something. The best singers, they have like vocal coaches and classes and stuff. You know, you might think you're good at something, but Timmy over here runs laps around you, but you thought that you were the best, and you're like, oh, I don't need to practice, like I'm already good at this. But Timmy over here is running laps around you. That's when you know, you're like, oh, because Timmy probably has the same amount of skill as you do, but he was the one who put his time and energy into working on it and crafting it more and just making it better. That's why I'm like, hard work beats talent, because two people could have the same talent level or skill level, but all it takes is, you know, just that one person who's dedicated to wanting to be better every single day, and they're the ones that's gonna be, you know, successful, and you're still gonna be in the same place. What you want to do is elevate, you know what I mean? You never want to stay in the same place your whole life. You want to grow, you know. Yeah, that's my 2 cents about you know, just try, you know what I mean? Because I know this is like something that I struggle with too. If you're sad and like, you know, do it sad. I like the thing where it's like, would you rather be sad, you know, in a, I don't know, what's like a cheap car? It's like a Toyota or something. Like, would you rather be crying in a Toyota or crying in a Ferrari? Unless you're just not a materialistic person, it doesn't matter to you. But which, yeah, that's true, because I don't think success is defined by how wealthy you are. I think success is defined by if you lived your life the way you want to. So that was a bad example. But better examples, like, would you rather be sad and where you want to be in life, or sad and where you don't want to be in life? Because I feel like at the end of the day, you're gonna be sad either way. So might as well do what you want. You know what I mean? Might as well just follow your dreams and do what you've always wanted to do, and it might work out for you. You never know. It's all in God's timing. So it's time for the quote of the day. Let me get my computer, because my phone is holding up this light right now. Quote of the day that I think is very fitting for this video is remember why you started.